I'm after a new caper, staying tuned to the moves, the wicked dudes and skyscrapers. I'm rising up to swags of a new flavor. I'm after a new layer, a prophet to lot greater. God is wild like the West, and I'm like Elliot Ness. I keep my drive locked in, I keep it close to the chest. Planning for the right moment to rock on to the next. Cause these markets don't close and my pockets won't rest. God got a vision of riches. My FOMO got the fearful in stitches. Holy up, yeah, cause we in the trenches. Crypto is my pension, dividends is my mission, and I'm inspired to retire on digits.
We'll do it live. Fucking thing. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live, people. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another Off the Chain episode number 18. I got my guy Ken Bozak in the building this time, man. I haven't seen this guy since what? Vegas,
yeah.
Vegas. So I'm glad to have him on, guys. A very genuine guy in the crypto space, and that's what it's all about. I gotta keep it real and keep it going and build relationships with people who are genuine, and he's one of them, people. So I'm glad to have him co-host with me tonight. We're gonna get started here in a second. Hope everyone's doing well out there.
Yeah, I got the chat open, so if anyone's typing, I can see what they're saying.
All right, sweet. Yeah, we got Nicholas, Christoph, Dewan. We got Trust Monster, J Crypto Minded. What's good, people? So tonight we're going to be talking about Elon Musk and the Cybertruck. He had it out in Malibu
Man, you do know that's RoboCop's car choice, right? Like when RoboCop is out there patrolling the streets, he's riding in a Cybertruck.
Bruh, RoboCop. We got RoboCop out here in Malibu. Let me get this chat up on the screen for everyone. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. If you want to call in, let me unlock this room so you guys can go ahead and call in and get in queue. So I hope you guys are doing well.
This is Crypto Hotline Bling, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
I expect one or two Baba Booies or I'll be disappointed.
What the hell is that?
Oh, wow. You don't know what a Baba Booey is?
What is a Baba Booey?
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. What? You don't know?
Nah, bro. You gotta put me up on
game. This is old school troll, like Howard
Andy
Stern
King,
stuff.
what's going on, bro?
People would call into radio shows and just scream Baba Booey. It was basically like a subtle shout out to Howard Stern on other people's networks.
Ah, okay. All right. So we're gonna get started here in about 5, 3, 2, 1 minute.
That was a minute countdown?
I gotta get my cigar. I can't do the live without my cigar and a little treat here. I know you got your stuff rolled up.
Yeah. I'm not really looking forward to going to Miami for that conference next month because, it's going to be difficult. So if anyone's in the area wants to hang out, let me know.
You going to the International Bitcoin?
The North American Bitcoin Conference, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like the 15th and 16th, I think, right? Or maybe even 17th?
17th, yeah. I think I'm going down there. I'll be down there. I'll see you down there.
Oh, that'd be what's up. I'm hanging out with the Bitcoin Center Miami gang. So shout out to Tim and Annalise and everybody. It's going to be cool times.
Yeah.
If you're sticking around for a while and you're not flying out too early, a couple of us are going to like a giant bouncy house. So we're reliving our youth in a bouncy castle for adults.
Oh, that's dope. I'm gonna have definitely join you on that one.
Yeah, it's on the 19th, so it's just gonna be like a crypto friends thing. It's not really part of the event or nothing. But I like the North American Bitcoin Conference. I've been there before. Pretty high quality, pretty intimate event. Little bougie, but I mean it's Miami. What do you expect?
Yeah, I was down there in 17. I think I saw you down there.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah. Yeah, the
So Ken,
Club
man.
11 after party memories.
Right. Welcome to the show, Ken. I appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you.
tonight. If you guys don't know who Ken is, go ahead, Ken, and introduce yourself, man. He's me and Trek call him the crypto mayor.
I'm just like the Bitcoin beta tester, man. I'm all in on this crypto thing. I use it. I accept it for payment. I pay for I hold my entire net worth and value in crypto. So I'm that guy. I'm the all in. Way too much all in, enthusiast. I'm the kind of guy that talks to the Uber driver, the waitress. I talk to everybody about it. Try to get everybody in by opening a wallet and giving them a little bit to incentivize that. Mostly been in this space doing little podcast things and interviews since like 2016, and I go to probably every conference that's worthwhile. Probably been to over 200 crypto conferences in the past 2 or 3 years. That's me in a nutshell, I guess, other than, me.
Yeah, so Ken's out of Philly.
Yeah, Philly. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, we do a meetup here every month. So shout out to Monarch Token for helping us with that.
Dope. So, yeah, man, I met Ken. When did I meet you, man? What conference were we at? I can't even remember.
Was it the North American Bitcoin Conference, or
It
did
may
we
have
meet
been.
before that? Were you at the Consensus? No, that was after that too. It might have been in Miami, man, when we first met IRL.
May have been.
It's hard though, because we've been to like fucking 10 conferences together already.
Yeah,
so right. It's like hard to pick out which one.
Exactly. Yeah,
my favorite one might have been the Litecoin Summit. I think we got to do a panel together.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good panel too that we were on. So yeah, I can't remember, but again, when I meet genuine people, I make sure I keep them in my Rolodex, my digital Rolodex, and I'm glad to definitely have him as a friend in this crypto game. And yeah, man. So I guess we can kind of get right into it, man. First, let me just shout out to EOS Locally. You guys jump over there to EOS Locally, and they have a special, a Christmas special. You can win up to $800 in EOS tokens. So EOS Locally is essentially like local Bitcoins, but for EOS. And,
is there KYC and stuff like?
No K. That's the thing. Is no KYC. So
yeah, which is cool. Take advantage while you can.
Take advantage while you can. Take advantage while you can. Don't know how long that's going to last, but while it's there, take advantage of it. Sign up, eoslocally.com. Follow them on Twitter. Retweet the Twitter promo. Buy and sell EOS on there. A minimum of 5 EOS. And then I'll leave a link for you guys to check it out. The prizes are first prize $300, second prize $100, and third through seventh prize is $20 worth of EOS. And again, I will leave a link for you guys to check it out. You can
shout out to EOS for getting voice on blockchain. I heard they announced that today.
Yes, I'm still a little skeptical about that whole situation because it's KYC oriented, and that's the only thing. Like, I don't know why I even expected anything different from a major company like that, like Block One. They're gonna play within the.
Well, yeah, they have to for sure. But to me, they're just building the blueprints for somebody to do this in a decentralized way that doesn't have to conform to regulators. So
I hope so.
Thanks for doing the legwork, guys. Somebody's going to copy paste and do it in a decentralized way that isn't money hungry and trying to turn a profit from the service. Once it's done, open source, decentralized, who's going to need this service? So
yeah, that's true. I hope so. I didn't even think of it that way, Ken. So definitely something that could be a possibility that comes out of that. But so yeah, man, we got a couple topics tonight, ladies and gents. As you see on the screen, we got Elon Musk Cybertruck. We're going to talk about that. The ring hacker, man, that article.
Who didn't see that coming? Who didn't see this coming from like a mile? Why did Jeff Bezos buy Ring and he didn't invest in security for it?
Bro.
Who didn't see that coming? Like, seriously?
We're gonna read that article, man. That was hilarious.
I'm waiting for celebrity porn to be leaked from this ring hack, bro. This is like just the beginning of the conversation. People mine data when this happens, and you don't hear about it for months until they collect it and then really start to extort people.
Man, you're right. So we're gonna talk about China. I want to get your feedback on this, man, because
I'm ready.
Yeah, this whole China, dominance as far as hash power. We'll talk about that. And lastly, cryptoverse versus government AML requirements. We were just talking about AML, KYC, and a Bitcoin tipping bot just they're shutting down in January. What is it? Bottle Pay?
Bottle Pay, man, that sucks, dude. And that just goes to show what like a lot of these same services are going to have to deal with moving forward. Like with Shapeshift, I look at Shapeshift and I look right at Changely and I'm like, inevitably. And then, there's Change Now, inevitably, because of what happened with Shapeshift. Yeah. This is just the start of that trend. And I hope that people start to realize that, like I mentioned earlier, start to do things more in the Satoshi Nakamoto style and just step back away from it. Try not to be a greedy, profiting CEO. And just be a contributor to the world and create and release something and utilize it with us.
So Nicholas Christoph, KYC means know your customer, and AML is anti-money laundering.
Yeah.
So those are policies and stuff that the cabal, the government, the NSA, all
Well, it's mostly banks. I mean, money laundering was a terminology created by the banks to scare people into giving more of their freedoms away for security theaters. Money laundering doesn't hurt anybody but the banks. So that's why the banks don't like it. And that's why they're lobbying to regulate and enforce that know your customer with a lot of these platforms. So they could try to screw people out of taxes, and tax money.
Yeah, so let me just make sure I got my ping on so that I know when someone comes into the room. So guys, give us a call if you want to chime in on anything that we're talking about tonight. The number is on the screen, 669-900-6833, and use that code at the bottom. But so Ken, man, what do you want to start with? So I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you tonight.
Go in order. You can start with that Cybertruck. I mean, is he accepting Bitcoin for this thing or Dogecoin? I mean, he's the former CEO of Doge. Is he accepting Doge for the Cybertruck or Bitcoin? I mean,
right. Yo, I forgot that he was kind of nominated as CEO of Doge.
No, he was self-appointed and pumped that market hella hot.
I remember that.
I don't know. He got in trouble for smoking weed on the Joe Rogan podcast because it affected his market. He claimed to be the CEO of Doge, which affected the market of Doge. And I don't know how he wasn't in trouble for that. I'm curious to see how that would work out if we could find out if he actually bought it.
So first, bro, what's your thought? Because the actual topic tonight is about seeing it. He's been riding around in this joint.
That's genius marketing.
It is. No, he's a genius, period. Right? He's a genius, period.
He doesn't have to pay a single outlet to write an article about his truck. He doesn't have to send $1. Who wrote this? Who is this?
Verge.
He didn't send them $1 for marketing. He drove his car and they did it for free.
So what are your thoughts about this truck, bro?
I love it, but I don't remember who said this. It was definitely on a podcast. I think it was Your Mom's House, but with Bert Kesher, or no, Tom Segura or whatever. But somebody mentioned, and I thought this was a great relatable concept for the truck itself. It's a truck made by a guy who doesn't need a truck for guys who don't need trucks.
But honestly,
I like it. I like it.
I would say most Americans don't need trucks, man. If you ever pay attention, you driving down the freeway or wherever, and you look over and you see an F-150. 9 times out of 10, Ken. It's one person in there. Yeah. They're not trailing in. They're not tagging anything behind.
Oh, and the bed looks pristine, but the truck's
bed is
10
clean.
Years old. Yeah, never had a scratch in the bed.
Exactly. So hey, I mean, why not do it?
isn't he talking about getting like 100 miles or something crazy, 1,000,000 miles out of one charge? I think it's 1,000,000 miles out of one battery charge.
Yes, it's a big, it's a long range, and
Yeah.
on top of that, it's fast as hell. Like the top line one, you know.
Yeah, but that's
biggest one.
entrapment, and you know it, bro. I hate when I see car advertisements brag about how fast their fucking car goes, and I'm like, we don't live in Germany. The Autobahn is not within reach. Why are they telling me this car can go from 0 to 120 in 6 seconds? If I ever do that on an open road anywhere ever for any reason, I am getting a ticket. Like, what's it matter if your car can do 300 miles an hour? It doesn't matter because it's not practical.
So here's the thing, Ken, and this is a common thought about this truck. And I just saw this in the chat room. E-Ren said that it will never be manufactured and released. And I've heard many people say this. And
they said that about his Tesla cars as well, though, because they were pre-ordered for years in advance. And it took him a long time with his very small suppliers and distributors to get that job done. But he got it done. You know, I believe that, you know, the dude has enough money to do it himself if everybody gives him a hard time getting it done.
Shout out to Crypto King USN out there, Litecoin. He's out in Japan. What's going on, bro? I think I sent. You ordered a hat, so I got your hat is on the way, bro. Your Make Crypto Great Again hat. Thanks for getting that.
I've heard of issues with it in, like, you know, certain countries with the security and safety features that it has to meet the regulation requirements to actually meet mass production readiness. So, like, the way it's designed and the shape of it actually may not even be legal for mass production and street readiness. But Elon's pretty fancy, you know, with, you know, rewording things and doing things in a way that he gets what he wants without changing what he had, what he said. He doesn't have to give up on his credibility to conform to the, you know, the facts. Like, he did the flamethrower giveaway, and at first regulations tried to prevent him from mailing a flamethrower. So he just said, okay, it's not a flamethrower.
Yeah,
and then
he's clever with it, but, you know, and like I said, he's a genius without a shadow of a doubt. Let's get this caller, because I got some
I saw a thing pop in over here.
Yeah, let me get him in here. It's your boy Crypto Blood. We got Ken Bozak tonight, off the chain. What's going on? Who's calling in?
Is this me?
It's you.
This is Andy from Oklahoma.
Andy. Oh, Andy King. What's going on, Ken?
Yes. I'm glad I got through, man.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Bro. Nothing, man. You have a Tesla, right? You got the Tesla.
Yeah, I have a Model 3 Standard Range Plus, the cheapest one they make.
So first of all, what are your thoughts about your car? Do you like it? What are your thoughts? Pros and cons?
Yeah, is it more of an inconvenience than a convenience?
Well, I'm going to be I'm just going to be honest with you. It's really cheap compared to a you know, filling up at the gas tank. But that depends on how much you're paying, you know, per kilowatt hour, and that varies for everybody across the country. The downside that you have to take into account is these lithium-ion batteries currently.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, man.
They don't work great whenever it's cold.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. So they work, and whenever you're going, you know, above 65 miles an hour, you know, if you're going 35 miles an hour, it really doesn't matter. Like, you can get, like, my car, they said it would get 240 miles, and whenever I'm on the interstate and it's cold, it is closer to about 160.
They never told you it'd be consecutive.
Say that again?
They never said it would be consecutive miles. It's a lot of stop and go, I heard.
That's funny.
Yeah. I heard there's bigger issues, actually, and I wanted to touch on this with Crypto Blood, too, to see what he thought. But the issue with the batteries not being recyclable and just being, you know, a complete landfill forever paperweight.
That's another thing, man. Like,
well, here's what I would say is that they actually, like, the materials inside the batteries can be recycled. It's just that the electrolytes, the reason why they decay over time with the liquid lithium is that there is electrolytes that accumulate, and you can recycle the batteries. Now, is it cost efficient? Who knows? I don't know.
Now that's why they're troving them up in these landfills, I heard, right? For that potential of the cost effectiveness to recycle them to meet, wildness. And a lot of that's happening with, things like iPhones and, other things where companies aren't at the point where recycling them is worth the while of like the production of just, using precious minerals or whatever, metals. But eventually with the scarcity of these resources that they use to create these things from scratch, they actually may have a cost production, value to going to that vault of old stuff that was just sitting there and now recycling it in the future because it's, now worth investing in.
Do y'all know how much lithium is in lithium-ion batteries?
No, how much?
It's less than 2%. It's mostly nickel most of the time.
Okay. So Andy, tell me, I saw you on Twitter just maybe about an hour ago, and E-Ren in the chat room said this, and it made me think about you, and then you called in, so this is perfect. Is it ever going to be made, though, man? Like, we know that Elon is a marketing genius. He's a genius first, but he's also clever with the marketing. And my question is, do you think this truck will even ever be produced? Because I'm a little skeptical. I don't know if it's ever going to be produced.
So I think a Magic 8 Ball would have as good of a chance as predicting that as I would. I have no idea. I really don't. No one does.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see
so the crumple
Yo,
zone,
this is the guy who does SpaceX, bro. He's telling you he makes rockets land on the ground on their butt like a dog.
When I saw that,
come on, man.
Like,
he put a car in space. He launched a car into space. He's gonna make a car, even if it only sells 1,000 of them. He making it.
I thought that video was played in reverse. When I saw the rocket,
he's cheating.
When I saw the rocket land backwards, I said,
"It's
what
witchcraft.
the hell is going on, bro?"
No, man. Yeah, that's another story. That's another thing you can cover another time. Is his actual mission to colonize Mars, which is pretty interesting.
It is. I'm waiting for him to make a tweet where it's like, Bitcoin's the official currency of Mars. Done.
Yep. Well, let me tell you before I get off here why I, gave $100 to him for a couple years to save my place in line. It's mainly because of the stainless steel. If it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't care about it. But the rust-proof and hopefully hail-proof, because we get a lot of hail down here, that was, a car that you could basically sit, for 30 years and put new tires on it and it runs. That's why I was like, yeah. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it actually comes out, man. And we'll just have to see what happens. I'm skeptical.
We could have the official Crypto Blood Auger prediction market let us know what the crowd.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Auger.
Let's set that up.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask you a Bitcoin question before I get off?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so, Bitcoin's dropped below the 200-day moving average. Is there any support at the 200-week if it goes that low?
To be honest with you, I have no clue. I don't even use moving averages, man. I don't. I just support and resistance. I know we're short both Ethereum and Bitcoin now. We went short like at 5-6 o'clock this morning. We went back short. But if I take a look at, I think it's like 5,600. 5,600 is the 200 week, if I remember right. So I'm bringing it up on the screen now, Andy, and
I think that's the exponential.
Say that again.
That I was looking. The exponential moving average, 200 day. That's what I was.
Okay, got you. So the issue I have right now is that we broke this area right here. I thought we had a double bottom, but we actually broke it. So it's not looking too good. I think we're going to head back to 60 or try to test that area, at least come here to 6,800, but 6,500 may be the test again. That was a big V-shaped recovery right here, though. This was huge to see that.
Yeah.
So that's a decent area of support. 64,
Okay.
6500. So I take it one resistance level at a time, or one support level at a time.
I live my life one support level at a time.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
And it seems like it just jumps out of nowhere. Like it's really hard to time. Really is.
Especially wait for
Oh,
this
yeah.
happening. It's about a 6-month birthing process before this happening. So 6 months. For the next 6 months, we're gonna see a lot of chaos.
yeah, and we should start to see a move up from, like you said, January. I think we should start seeing a move up, a base being built wherever we end up landing, and then I think from there we go up 50% from wherever we build that base.
Is the happening in May? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's in May.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very cool. So, CB, what would make you buy the Cybertruck?
Nothing, man. I don't like the design at all. I'm not into those really harsh looking edges and stuff. It's not appealing to me. It's like I said, it looked like it was like for a marketing ploy.
Man,
it was like for shock value. You know
First
what I'm
off,
saying?
you don't even need one of
To get
those.
Model Y sales up.
Huh?
To get Model Y sales up. The Model
See,
Y.
the Model Y
coming
is
out.
something that's going to work. That's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that's definitely coming out. Model Y, that's doable. This
You know what's
Cybertruck-
not coming out?
What?
Full self-driving. It ain't gonna happen.
No, it is. It is, bro. It absolutely is.
No, man.
What was that?
I'm
I didn't
telling
hear
you,
me. Broke up on
nah.
my end.
He said
Full self-driving.
Yeah, full self-driving, autonomous
Not
driving.
in the Tesla. Not in my version 3 hardware. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like Tesla's, they're really profitable if full self-driving comes out and they get rid of Uber and Lyft and they replace them. But it just, it's really good, assistive features, but it's not going to drive itself.
Yeah, and the thing is, Ren makes another good point, and this is more on the financial side, guys, is that Tesla, man, is really, if it weren't for their funny financial trickery that they do and getting financed,
they sure do.
this company would be bankrupt. And you have new competition entering the market. You have the Porsches, you have the Jaguars, you have even Ford with their Mach truck.
So I would say
it.
Volkswagen. Volkswagen is Tesla's biggest threat, in my opinion, because they're actually serious about it.
Right.
Ford, maybe, but even their, I think CFO said that they don't expect any major EV sales for the next 5 years.
A lot of these, and that's why I think Tesla has the biggest chance of doing something like it, is a lot of these companies, they're, partnered with everybody from the oil, the gas industry, to the regulators in between, to the DMV, Department of whatever motor vehicle with this, Teamsters, the union, blah, 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 blah. All the car manufacturers have people that they have to listen to that, give them money to help make their cars. So they make cars that consume gas, because gas companies, kind of motivate them to.
Right.
The dealers are the most important factor in all this because they have a lot of political power. They're the only ones who are still buying ads in newspapers, and they make all of their money off of servicing internal combustion engines. That's why you really don't see a big push from most of the Detroit automakers.
And the biggest issue with this autonomous driving technology is the fact that it's proprietary. If everybody was working on open source code to solve a singular issue and didn't worry about who owns and can license and redistribute this technology, it would be much quicker advanced and probably get better along with regulations and everything else too.
So
everybody wants to have their own charger port for their fucking electric car and their own driving software, and they everything got to be a monopoly.
So the legacy automakers, they're really banking on the LiDAR. Do y'all have any opinions on that? Have y'all looked into that?
LiDAR?
For the full self-driving? Yeah, LiDAR. Where the thing that's on top of the car that's spinning around.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're getting cheap, I heard, man. I heard you can get stuff like that for like $150 now that used to cost like $10,000 to make, like when Google started their Google Earth project.
Waymo, I think is what Google's is
Waymo.
called. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
you can get this stuff. Like you were saying, your car can't do it with this current tech, but what if Tesla has an update for the software and then ships you a free piece of hardware? You just plug on the hood like a cop light. You just reach out and put it up, and now it can do a little bit better because it can see a lot more.
Well, no, you're right. Like there may be things they're holding back. There is one guy on Twitter. I don't know his name, but he hacked into the operating system, and he can see what the computer sees.
I was going to ask you if you tried to hack your car yet.
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck no, man. I don't avoid that warranty. Sorry about cursing. Sorry.
Well, no,
No, you're all good, man.
Just to see how hard it was. Like, that's me, man. If I had a car like that, because you know the 15-year-old kid that lives down the streets, you know, he's trying.
Well, man, get you one of those wrecked ones, I guess, if you want to do that.
I'm just waiting for Tesla to start selling. What is that tinfoil stuff made out of again? The Faraday type cages or whatever. Mm-hmm. Faraday garages for your car.
No, I'm not. I'm long on Elon Musk. I'm short on Tesla, Andy. I don't think it's going to survive.
You know the
man.
only way to get exposure to SpaceX to the public markets. Do you know how to do that?
It's to go long Tesla.
Nope. Alphabet. Google is the only publicly traded company that has a stake in SpaceX.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. So yeah, that's what I would do. You know, I would go because I believe SpaceX is going to be fine. I think SpaceX is subsidized by the government so much.
Yeah,
and
man.
They're all in with the government, so they're good. If I could buy SpaceX, I would buy that stock tonight.
Yes, sir. I agree.
SpaceX over Bitcoin for the short term. I would definitely dump a lot of Bitcoin.
Hell yes. Man, like SpaceX, they're doing their thing. They're getting contracts, bro.
You know, I'll probably get a lot of trash for saying that, but it's funny is people will post a tweet like, if you could put your money in anything for the next 10 years, what would it be? And everyone in the crypto bubble says, oh, Bitcoin or whatever, shitcoin, right? But there's other markets, you know, like space or precious metals or whatever things that you can invest in that may have a better return.
Well, I personally I would invest in some type of AI company that's really like cutting edge on that whole open AI architecture. That's to me is going to be a big game changer.
What's that Skynet project? I forget. It's like something like that. It's like Skynet, but it's not called Skynet. Singularity.
Well, there are ETFs that focus on AI, but it's mainly on bigger businesses that are using AI. I can't remember. I traded it last year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember what it's called though.
No, I was watching a video earlier and somebody was talking about what was the best investment in the crypto space. You know what I mean? And somebody said Coinbase. And I was like, yo, Coinbase and exchanges definitely did the best no matter what. Like, if you would have invested in Coinbase and
they extracted
Bitcoin, you probably would have made more money.
They extracted so much value from our industry.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? They made billions, bro. No matter what, up or down.
So that goes back to the whole gold rush, mentality. You invest in the people who sell the picks and shovels. So, you have Coinbase and you have Bitmain, right? If you could invest in Bitmain, that's what you would have done.
Well, that's what I feel about when it comes to this automated driving technology and, private, space flight stuff is Elon Musk with, forget the truck or whatever, but what he's doing with his cars and the self-driving and stuff, even if it isn't his car, it might be his tech. He'll probably license it out to Ford or whoever. And then they'll use that tech in their cars to that effect. So, investing in him in any aspect is going to be,
But the thing is though, Ken, now if we're talking about that, I agree with you. Like, he's pushing the industry forward. He's making people rethink just the whole industry, automotive altogether, right? But if we're just going off of his the licenses for his patents and stuff and him doing that, then the valuation has to come way down. You know, it's
Yep,
not. It
you're
can't
right.
Be, it can't be worth.
Are you going to be a tech company or are you going to be an auto manufacturer? Because they're not valued.
I think
as
that's
an
all
auto
proof of work
manufacturer.
stuff. I think that's all like a concept for bigger picture stuff. Like he wants to do self-driving cars, so no car company wanted to work with him, so he made a car company to use the back end. So it's like proof of concept, utilizing the underlayer actual product. So I think all of this is just like hobbies built on bigger things, and like the whole space travel, that rocket landing. That technology is what he's going to license out. The ability to like forget the rocket itself, forget everything else. That software, that's what he's going to license out. The car being able to stop, turn left, whatever, not hit somebody. That software is what he's going to license out. SpaceX itself and Tesla itself is just proof of concept projects.
Yeah, I agree.
That's interesting.
I agree. I can agree with that for sure. You know. So Andy, man, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for listening to my my country ass. All right.
All
Hey,
right,
man,
bro.
if you ever want to book a day on my podcast, feel free. It's on my
yeah.
Twitter page. It's a pinned tweet. You can come on anytime.
All right, man. I'll look you up.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys. All right. Keep listening in. All right. Later.
All right, man. Take care.
So what was the next topic after the Elon Musk thing? We were talking about hacking the Elon Musk car. That's right. And
We might as well talk about hacking Amazon Ring, right?
Oh man, dude, when I saw that thing on Shark Tank, that was the first thought that came to mind. The very first thought that came to mind was, I'm gonna hack the crap out of my neighbor's doorbell and make them think like, Trump is at the door or something, like.
So here's a video.
Yeah, this is a lot worse than what I did not have this kind of a thought when it came to messing with people. This is way out there. I just wanted people to think like, they had a celebrity at the front door, and I never would have thought about like messing with an 8-year-old girl. Like and the stuff they were saying, man, that gets creepy.
Oh my god, bro! My thing is, I almost fell out the
song. Tiptoe through the window.
Man, and then look, guys. So basically, to give you a little backdrop, if you don't know, I did report on this. It wasn't this incident though. I reported on the one that there was a hack and they demanded Bitcoin.
$50 or you're dead. What?
No, 50 Bitcoin.
Oh, is that what it said?
Yeah.
Oh,
400 was like 400 grand.
Man, kill me. Just kill me. Kill me. At that, if you think I got that much money and you're that, just do it. I call your bluff. I'm at the poker table.
I'm calling you bluff.
You just
bro.
put $400K on the table, and I say bluff. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I'm calling bluff on that. But this particular one, guys, is even funnier because the hacker hacks into the system, right? Hacks into the actual daughter's room,
so
and then he says, "I'm trying to find it, bro." Bro, where is it at, man?
It's somewhere towards the bottom, the quotes.
Oh my god, bro. He said something like, let's see, it's something about where's your mom?
No, he was like, I'm your best friend. You can do anything you want. You can mess up your room. You can break your TV. And the little girl's like, whatever. Like, who are you? Like, straight up. Like, who is this? Like, you don't want to be my best friend? Don't you want to be my friend? Break your TV. Like, it's so weird.
So what do you... I brought this up on the show during the week, man. I was like,
yo, this ain't nothing new though, man. People have been
hacking nothing new
monitors since baby monitors came out.
But do you think that this? I think this is a perfect application for blockchain. Like they need to start leveraging blockchain where you can encrypt it, encrypt the device on the blockchain where it will be unhackable.
Yeah, but there's still nothing's unhackable because the vulnerability is always on the end user. So whoever creates a fucking really weak password or doesn't, the issue was,
and so
2FA. So
that's the thing. So
hackable. So
Ring came out and said
blockchain doesn't fix everything, bro. Sometimes people are so dumb, blockchain can't save them.
That's the thing. Ring came out and said it wasn't even them. It was a compromise.
It is at a level though, bro. I mean,
It was a compromise with their third party vendor.
dude, if I log into Twitter when I travel, they send me an email immediately like, yo, bro, you ain't from LA. Somebody in LA just logged in as you. Like, if Twitter can manage that, Ring is responsible, especially as a paid service. It's like $150 a month for a vulnerability to have a window wide open to the internet because they don't want to invest in security. If Twitter knows this, even if I logged into my own Twitter account in a new location, then it's easy for them to see an IP address or a device ID number that would trigger any remedial security measures if they would have implemented them.
Yeah,
so it's on them at some level. They have a scapegoat of 2FA, then they can blame their customers, which is really bad business tonight.
Look at this. Listen to this, bro. Go tell your mommy you're a nigga. The voice commands Alyssa.
No, I don't know if this makes me like whatever, but I heard when I read that sentence and I reread the sentence, I felt like it's possible that it may have been like a black person saying it. You know what I mean? Like, how fucking funny and ironic of a sentence is that? But like, what kind of white person would have said that to another white person?
Yeah, I think it was a black hacker, bro.
Right. That's like, that's some funny ass shit.
I think it was a black hacker, bro.
So now you have a little girl walking down to her mom and be like, "Mommy, what?"
Bro, when I read that, I was like, "Oh my god, what is this world coming to?"
I think it's just trolling, bro. I think
That's
it's all
it
in good fun, and at the end of the day, it could be worse. It could be much worse. They could be subliminally subjecting children to fucking very low, quiet, like fucked up shit when they're sleeping, and
Right.
brain, it could be whatever.
Right.
It's just at the point of trolling, and I think that it's the white hat hacker community doing this at a very trolling, lighthearted way to bring it to the mainstream's attention without being too malicious, just so it is taken care of. Because I'm sure the community is, there's people that this has happened to very subtly and it hasn't picked up and they haven't cared. And big companies like this have issues that they always try to brush under the rug. Look at Firestone tires. Like, companies love to brush problems under the rug until it gets so big they can't. So I think this is the white hat community having lighthearted fun, trying to highlight a serious vulnerability in a fun way. And trying to get mainstream attention on it.
Oh man, I couldn't believe that, man. Go tell your mama.
Yo, and 50 Bitcoin, bro. Like, seriously, pick a reasonable number. People might fall for
that's
it.
Just straight
that
trolling,
is trolling.
Bro.
Exactly, it's trolling. They're
Straight
just having fun, man.
Yeah,
Who
that's
can
funny.
even acquire 50 Bitcoin if they needed to save their life? Like, it ain't happening.
So here's my thing about the whole ransom for Bitcoin move, because it's real, right?
Oh, I love it. You saw the recent airport?
What airport?
There was I don't remember, it was like 2 weeks ago, an airport recently. Everything in the airport was shut down, and on the screen, every screen said send Bitcoin or we're going to erase your servers.
Oh, on the airport.
Screen.
Oh, that was, I saw that. That was I did some research. That was fake.
No, was it? That was so funny.
Yeah, that was fake. That was Photoshop. Yeah.
Good job.
That was real good job.
4chan, good job.
Real good job. But Baltimore, city of Baltimore, got hacked. Couple of cities around the country have been hacked, and the ransom was in Bitcoin. My thing is, if I'm a city official and my city gets hacked and they want Bitcoin, I'm not too sure I'm going to pay that Bitcoin, because I don't know if I send that Bitcoin if I'm gonna get if you're gonna.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. 100% they do. Well, because the hackers that do this have credibility. They have reputation of actually doing what they're going to say if you pay. That's the issue with a lot of this. Like, the WannaCry virus was well known for actually decrypting the encrypted files they stole from you if you paid the ransom, which is why a lot of people did. And
Gotcha.
the hack community that takes responsibility for the ransomware. They have, they have clout for actually
Gotcha.
doing what they're going to do, which is why, people pay it. So that is an issue. But I talked about this in a podcast before. Europe, they have a lot of businesses. I think it's like 3 out of 5 or something like that. Businesses bought Bitcoin for their cybersecurity side of the business, not as an investment, not to trade or do anything with. It sits in a hard drive somewhere, probably. And that's going to get locked when it gets ransomware. But they bought Bitcoin in case they get ransomware and Bitcoin goes up, which is during the bull run what happened. So this is an incentive for every business and every industry to hedge into Bitcoin, not as an investment, not as a speculative asset, not to do trading with, but to hodl in case of emergency, break glass.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, bro.
Yeah, and that's a long-term position, so they're taking Bitcoin out of circulation for a long-term emergency use case of ransomware.
Yeah, so Nate W said New Orleans is under a massive hacker attack right at this moment.
Oh, wow.
Just check the news, ransomware.
Sorry to hear that. New Orleans, they don't need that right now, ransomware, man. They don't need to be giving money to you. They got other problems.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. So let's take a look at this next one, though, bro. And this is a big one. And I've been actually talking about this for maybe a year and some change. Ever since really I found this site. It's not up anymore, Ken. It was
I wonder why.
Exactly. It was called arewedecentralizedyet.com. And so it really but showed how centralized a lot of these coins are from a mining perspective. And that is, mining in turn is a security.
Yep.
Is the security aspect of the network. So what are your thoughts, man? And guys, this is an article out of CoinDesk, and there's a new report that shows that 65% of Bitcoin hash power is actually in China.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that it's hard to balance the scales. If the U.S. ever decided to do something similarly where they have, cheap power, I think I read that in that article you even shared with me, Bitmain's building the world's largest mining facility in Texas.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's an American company, but the mining power is distributed, to the U.S. I think it incentivizes other countries to get more serious and competitive in the market. I mentioned this before when I talked to BitBoy. I don't know if it ever made it on air or if it was ever recorded, but we were talking about, the space race and how much money Russia and the U.S. invested to get to the moon. And neither one of them could have cared less until one or the other decided to do it first. You know what I mean? So
right.
It wasn't for any reason other than that. And China could potentially start the next space race to Bitcoin potentially taking off to that proverbial moon because of this. So the U.S. sees this, Russia sees this. They look at this large amount of power and resource they have in an up and rising economy or industry. They're going to want to invest similarly. They either get.
So what is it though? what is it that China sees, or is it? Do you think it's just a private sector? It's not so much so the
nothing
government.
Done in China is private, bro. It's all government. Everything in China is the government.
Well, they do have a private sector. They have an economy within their communist system.
Mm-hmm.
They do. So, I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs over there.
Man, Winnie the Pooh says something, bro. They get a voicemail from that little yellow bastard. They're gonna do whatever he says.
No, I'm not saying that's not the case. I agree with you there. They can get a tap on the shoulder and they'll have to conform and do whatever they want. But my thing is, what is it that China sees, and why are they so saturated and invested in the infrastructure?
They see the amount of USD they can swallow. What do you mean, bro? Bitcoin is eating US dollars. That they're loving it. They're loving it right now. Like, this is the best mining Bitcoin to sell for the US dollars, the best way for them to get their hands on it. And so I think, they're just seeing that, this is a device right now to just make money off the US without having to pay any, I don't know if there's any world trade tax or something on shit like that, but basically, they're doing a digital trade with the US, economy, and they're getting away with it without going through physical regulations.
So do you think, when you mine Bitcoin, you get just the Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, imagine if physical gold was being shipped over here from China in the troves. They'd have to pay something to the US government for that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing that with Bitcoin. It's coming over here in troves. And I don't think the government's getting a kickback from the Chinese government for that.
So we got a caller. Let's take this caller really quickly. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood, Ken Bozak. What's going on?
How goes it?
What up? This is you guys are my two favorite guys on it. Can you hear me?
You.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. This is Crypto Angels, brother, all the way from Los Angeles, California.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Where's the Cubans at, man? I need another one.
Yo.
I need another one, bro.
Don't worry about it. You come down to my meeting. I'm doing this meetup now. So every second Sunday of the month in LA, meetups over here in Lincoln Heights, Los Angeles. So whenever you're here, I'll give you a couple cigars, brother.
Absolutely. What's on your mind tonight, man?
No, I'm just hearing you guys' conversation about, China and how everything's going. There's a lot of bad sentiment right now going on crypto. So
it is.
It looks like this is.
The only bad sentiment's around the price, though, man. It's only about the price. Yeah. Nobody's worried about the tech breaking or the tech cracking, or it's all people that want to make money that are worried right now. That's all. So Bitcoin's doing fine.
Yeah.
You have to separate Bitcoin from Bitcoin the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's times like these, though, when you wonder, like, people are scared, and it's like, this is the right time, though.
Right, exactly. But that's what the mainstream hasn't. You can clearly see that they haven't done their accumulation phase. When you look at the institutional on-ramps, there aren't many ways to get tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin. And if there aren't many ways to do it without market moving and then repositioning yourself as you're trying to accumulate the amount of the asset that you're trying to invest in. So once we see these on-ramps developed for the institutional investors and these hundreds of millions of dollars to move into the market at once without doing too much cause to the market price, because that's what the stock market has. You have the ability to buy $100 million worth of stuff without doing too much movement to the market at once. And it's not so much market manipulation as it is conservative investing. So, we have on-ramps for you and me, mom and pop shops. That's why, like you said, this is the opportunity. You're right, because the only ramp on is for us. They can't fit. So they're building their ramp to this utopia, and they're trying to convince us to wait for them to get there so they can monopolize on the land.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for both of you guys. Let's just say the run-up came. Where would you guys park if you guys, if it did win, if it did go up crazy amounts? Where would you park it?
What do you mean?
Yeah, let's
you
just
mean
say
like
Bitcoin
realize the profits in that value versus
interesting.
the dollar?
Yeah. I mean, I can't park it back on fiat because it's going to be inflated.
Right. I mean, I could
where
talk
would you
about
park
that,
it?
But Blood, you go first.
I mean, so let's give a scenario. Let's say we go to $100,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, let's just say 50. Just something reasonable.
$50,000 Bitcoin, right? Where am I parking it? I'm probably gonna reallocate some of it into other altcoins. I'm gonna take some. Okay. I'm gonna put some in stable coin as well to actually lock in versus the dollar, because everything it's priced against the dollar, right? You have in the gold industry, they always say you got the gold price and you got the price of gold, right? And so, it's when you see that dollar amount or that dollar value on Bitcoin, it's just telling you how many dollars it's going to take to buy a Bitcoin. That's all that's saying.
I got it's probably a convoluted answer, maybe a little bit, but I'll try to shorten it. I would probably realize the profits in a stable coin. Then I'd probably take out a loan backed by that stable coin to reinvest in something else. But I would probably use like Celsius Network or something to that effect, one of their competitors in that industry, to hold stable coins since the market has hit that volatile new time high, kind of see profits without taking too much of a tax burden. I would probably stable coin it, Celsius Network, to take on some interest, and then probably see a loan, because that way I don't have to pay capital gains on the profits I made in the crypto market. The loan that I took out on that stable coin isn't taxed the same. I can even use that to purchase more of something else, like Crypto Blood said, altcoins. So it's like taking money, making money, using it as money to get more money for free.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would definitely. No, they hung up, but I would definitely. I would take some profit in and by rolling over into some of the altcoins, because normally if you have a run up in Bitcoin, there's a shift in the portfolio anyway. So people are going to realize some profits into fiat. People are going to realize some profits into the altcoins. When they realize into the altcoins, that's when the altcoin season starts. So I want to try to capitalize on that next move as well. And then also you always, and I did this back in 17, going through 17 and 18, you always have to actually realize in fiat, because then you can buy other real assets. You can buy whatever it may be, stocks or real estate, whatever. You have to realize.
What about some gold and silver?
Gold and silver is fine. Though I don't think if you take gold and silver, I compare gold and silver to almost like Bitcoin. Like, okay, I'll put a little bit of money in gold, but why I could put more money in the same reason I'm investing in gold, it would be the same reason I would be investing in Bitcoin. Basically, is what I'm saying. But I would get a higher return, in my opinion, in Bitcoin, and we've seen that over the last 10 years. It's not even competition. You know what I'm saying? So gold is a less volatile, so you can maybe look at it that way. But nah, I mean, it's a non-productive asset. So is Bitcoin, but at least with Bitcoin, I know that I'm gonna have some more volatility, and I could probably make more money off of that.
Yeah.
If from an investment standpoint, not leveraging and using the actual technology, but real estate. You gotta buy others. You gotta rotate out of some of your gains and realize them to go into other asset classes.
Andy Keene said he's going to have to look up the Bitcoin gold ratio. Yeah, do that for us real quick. That is an important level. And I've been trying to tell people to stop looking at Bitcoin to USD pairing and try to look at Bitcoin to gold pairing, and just try to delete the USD or the fiat pairing out of your mentality and look at scarcity, pair it to scarcity.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, but a lot of people have a hard time decoupling, when they're looking at the assets.
Yeah.
Try to look at making more gold off your Bitcoin rather than more fiat, when you're looking
at the thing is, though, Ken, my philosophy is I don't think fiat is going anywhere. I think,
it won't. It can't, bro. You know how discouraging of a mentality that is, bro? Yeah. It's a fever dream. And that's like a first world,
because all they're gonna do, Ken, is, and you see this, we see this now. And Crypto Angels, you can even, I'm sure you stay on top of the markets and stuff in the news. All they're going to do is they're creating their own crypto. So it's just going to be a crypto fiat. Yeah. It's just fiat 2.0.
Yeah, but the difference there is
my theory.
Go ahead, Crypto
my theory is the dollar is going to become the new underground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like physical dollars, yeah.
That's the
only thing that's going to be hidden.
Right. Well, and this is not a topic for tonight, but maybe next time we'll talk about like privacy coins, Monero and stuff,
Well, the issue I think physical cash may have, even with the underground, if it did get to that level, would be the counterfeiting and everything to that effect issue. And then they would have to, since cash is no longer government issued or whatever issued in general like that, they would have to create their own types of security and update the print on it or the designs or the tech ingrained in it. So it may go from using fiat as an underground currency to seeing it being counterfeited out of use. And that could be like a false flag thing. The government itself could flood the underground with counterfeits of itself, trying to, bring the value of itself down.
That would be easy.
The government's sneaky like that, I think what they're doing, have you seen like with the that Hong Kong dollar thing? I think I have one over there if I get up, but there's like NFC and physical little chips ingrained on these new physical things that are trying to hold like stable coins. So physical stable coins will have a cash like counterpart, but it will be physical evolved to like little chip on it or like a copper ribbon that has NFC technology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many people in the world, in the U.S. and in a first world nation don't have a smartphone or a driver's license and things like that? So to think of getting rid of paper money or living in a cashless society, it's very selfish, and it's not very likely that it will take off like that. I think, in Pennsylvania, they passed a law where if you have a business, you have to accept physical cash, because certain businesses were only accepting cards, and people or your kids even couldn't walk in to get a soda at a local pizza shop because they didn't have a card. So think of the inconvenience. It's not every kid is spoiled with a smartphone. You know what I mean? So,
Crypto Angels, before we let you go, man, what are your thoughts about this? A lot of the hash power being concentrated in 3 main entities that are technically out of China.
Yeah, that's I can't believe that. That's more than 50%, right?
Yeah, 65%.
They're cornering. I believe somehow that they're cornering something. I just can't pinpoint it.
What do you mean, man? All the hardware comes from there. If you're a U.S. mining facility and you order miners from China, who do you think's getting it first? The Chinese mining guy or you?
Yeah. And that's what I said that on my video this weekend. I was like, I remember back when I used to mine, I knew, and it was going on back then. Like if I ordered a mining ASIC from China, you're
getting it next season.
Exactly. You're getting it 2-3 months later. They're pre-mining it, and then they'll ship it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they wipe it down, make it look new, and send it right out to you after they're done using it.
Yep.
And that's why, but that's an incentive, right? We could see the U.S. become a industrial economy for producing mining facilities.
Why aren't we seeing that though, Ken? Why aren't we jumping on it like that?
Because the U.S. has a lot to lose if this takes off, man. And the U.S. dollar is a burden to every nation, but the U.S. You know what I mean? Like the petrodollar pretty much enslaves the world economy.
It does.
So China has a lot to gain competing in the world economy with the decentralized currency. Whether it hurts their own, it's better that the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of aspect. I think that's how China's looking at this when it comes. Like I said, they're burning dollars. They're trying to get rid of the dollars out of our pockets and into their pockets to convert into their own currencies. Like this isn't miners in China aren't hodling U.S. dollar fiat for their electric bills. You know what I mean? So they're selling this Bitcoin mostly for U.S. dollars, dumping the U.S. dollars for their own currency, which is helping their market. It's a pretty good way to get rid of the petrodollar. If it does work out for them, they have a lot to gain. And if it doesn't, they didn't lose very much because again, they were selling everybody else used equipment anyway.
Well, Crypto Angels, thanks for the call in, man. We appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing y'all.
All right, brothers. All right, brothers.
Do we have another caller?
Yeah, we got another caller. It's your boy Crypto Blood. And we got Ken Bozak tonight, Off the Chain, episode 18. What's going on?
Oh, hello. What's going on, y'all? It's Dewan. All right. I made a video about this subject the 65% of Bitcoin mining power being in China.
Yeah.
I made that clear today. What's going on, by the way, Blood, man? And Ken, what's good with y'all?
Yo, how
What's
goes
going
it,
on,
bro?
Dewan?
I'll have to check out that video. If you tweet it,
Drop
just
it. Drop
drop
it in the chat room if you can.
Yeah. Definitely, man, definitely. So, yeah, by the way, I'm calling out of Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
Okay,
And,
Queen City.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Queen City all day, man.
My best friend lives down there.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Don't tell me it's Zay, is it?
No, not Bitcoin Zay. No, I know he's from there,
okay.
but
he's from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with Ken, man. Competition is gonna pop up all over different countries. They already talking about Norway. You got over here in the States, of course, Texas is coming out with this big mining farm. I mean, if you look over there in China, man, it makes sense for them to mine over there heavily. I mean, it's not like these are all Chinese mining firms. These are mining firms from probably different parts of the world that set up shop there because of the cheap cost to use the electricity. Especially in Sichuan, from what I read, it was like hydroelectricity they were using. So, I mean, using natural energy is going to cut the cost for them to mine. So, I mean, that's just free market movement in the mining industry. And plus, like you guys said, they're getting the hardware early. They're getting it first because the supply's going there. But supply's going to ship everywhere pretty soon. So it's going to spread that competition out. But let's say this. Let's play devil's advocate. Even if China, the government, cracks down on mining, which they've tried to do plenty of times. I think they've done it earlier this year. There was talks about them banning mining.
There were talks about it, but they decided not to, though. Remember they
right? Okay.
Yeah. So they cracked down on crypto exchanges, but not the mining, and that's what I mean. Like, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
big pump fakes. You know what I mean? Big pump fakes they throwing. And either way, if that was to happen for some odd reason, what is it for the miners to just pick up, go somewhere else where energy, efficiency is there, and just start mining again and securing the network? There's no way. I don't see the likelihood. And this is where the democracy part of the Bitcoin network is something that people need to pay attention to, because what's the likelihood of miners actually concertedly destroying the ledger, and going against their vested interest in what they're getting paid? They're getting paid in Bitcoin. They're living off this. And that's their profit. Why would they go against the network?
Yeah, there's some game theory there as far as game theory. I agree with you on that. But you just always have. We can't just be what's the word? We can't be lazy and just say, oh well, we don't need to worry about them. They're not going to self-destruct and basically do a self-inflicted gun wound. Still got to think about this stuff, man, because the three entities could collude and start double spending. And and again, it doesn't mean the end of the network. It just means that we just got to stay on top of that stuff, Yeah,
and I don't know how much of a tinfoil hat enthusiast you are, but it's still at such an early stage of development. And a lot of these, majority stakers in the mining and industry, they hold on 1 second.
Oh yeah, no problem. So that's something that we have to pay attention to, bro. We gotta just keep on top of that stuff and not just think, oh well, they don't. Why would they mess up the whole money
I'll be
train?
Right back, sorry.
For
right,
that.
I do agree with that.
Keep on top of that stuff, man. So Andy said that. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna just kind of try to spin off what you guys were mentioning earlier with the previous caller about fiat and where that's going. You seem to think the fiat system is going to remain in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. Even if they decide to tokenize it or make it into a crypto, I think they're not going to release their stranglehold of power.
That's where their power lies. That's totally where their power lies. Why would I give that up? and especially when the masses don't even care. They don't even know why. They don't even realize they're being enslaved through money.
It's unbelievable.
They don't even
so
realize
unbelievable, man. I mean, people just really love like dealing in this dollar, no matter what they do to it.
Yeah.
I mean, prices can go up all around us because they continue to
but
repo
it's programmed in the people. You know, it's a programmed belief system. It's a level of social conformity, right? Like you see it in music culture, in media, movies. You see it, referenced in everything, right? And even in art nowadays, with Banksy destroying a multi-million-dollar piece of art because he wanted to make a statement and then ended up making the art even worth more money. You know what I mean? So a man can't even make a statement anymore about how money's not worth anything. It's a belief system it's an indoctrination, right?
That's perfect word, indoctrination. And
once people are indoctrinated, right now, it's so ingrained into their beliefs that it's a personal attack on them to attack that third party thing that has, like, if you talk negatively about cash and the dollar, people get offended physically. Like, you're talking about them or their family, like their loved ones, like they get hurt because of their belief in it is so strong that you're basically calling them stupid and telling them they're wrong. And it's going to be a hard on ramp, man.
But you know what, Ken, man, it's like they don't understand. If they truly understood what counterparty risk meant, they would know, like, wow, you know what? At the expense of myself.
No, but listen, I mean, look what happened with Wells Fargo opening hundreds of thousands of accounts and ripping people off for years, getting caught doing it. The people that were affected, all they did was say, screw Wells Fargo, and then went to PNC or went to Bank of America. You know what I mean? So they have these hardships. People are like, oh, PayPal froze my account because somebody sent me a stupid message like, thanks for the weed, bro. And I was being funny. So now they froze my account. I'm going to go open a Venmo. I'll show them. They know these hardships. They just don't know how to solve them, right? They don't understand that the solution they don't understand how to utilize the solution. We're trying to, we're selling microwaves to people that are DIY microwaves. You got to build it yourself. Here you go. But it's better than the conventional oven. It'll pop your popcorn so much faster. It'll make a turkey in seconds. But here, you got to build it yourself. DIY, microwave technology. It's not going to get fun until we're done building these protocol layers that simplify it. When we're telling, grandma or our niece and nephew to be your own bank, it's got to be at that remedial use case level for the UI UX. And we're not there yet.
I agree.
It's getting there. And the incentive to build it, huge.
I think this is the time, this generation or this time that we're at now, that previous generation or this, earlier in the Ponzi scheme of world central banking and as far as the lending or the free money that's being printed out and so forth. I mean, the previous generations are benefiting quite well off of it at this particular point. And then now, generations going forward to today, you're starting to realize that there's a disconnect because, we're getting closer and closer to the bag holders, the people who are just going to be left off with seeing that there's stagflation or there's going to be stagnant wages, prices of homes, prices of stocks are inflating due to all this money being pumped into the system, which hasn't shown up in the CPI. Well, they can't find it in the CPI.
Yeah, but they can't find it, bro, because they're not counting it. They're not. Every time one of the metrics for inflation gets too high, they take it out the CPI. You get what I'm saying? So they don't even count.
And they call Bitcoin magic internet money.
They don't even count. Inflation is not even measured properly as it was in the 1970s and 80s. Totally different numbers. Totally different number.
Amazing.
It is, man.
Amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you guys up, man. I just definitely want to just drop in for a little bit, hang with y'all. I appreciate you for having me on. I'll definitely drop that video in the chat too. Check me out.
That in there, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I want to check that out. Yeah, I'm
I
interested to
appreciate
see
you, man.
what Texas does with their mining facility with Bitmain, and see what parts of the U.S. are incentivized to participate. And I think recently, New York City, right, somewhere was a pretty big mining facility, and I think some federal government, some leg of the government, maybe even federal, got caught mining. Finally announced they've been mining Bitcoin for years. I can't remember.
Yeah, I
But
saw that.
so they're getting involved. It may not be for the best reasons with things like chain analysis or whatever, but there are levels of the U.S. government that are involved. There's mining facilities that are there. They may not be huge to compete in that 65% majority but I think as the incentive keeps building, like I said, it really comes down to the supplier. If you have a gold rush and your only supplier, is the competitor in the market, what are you really going to do? Nothing you can do. So U.S. really has to start producing mining devices. I think doesn't NVIDIA do that here?
Yeah, they were the main ones, and they got hurt, man. They got hurt big from
Poor guys.
the 2017
they did dumb
crash.
investments, man. They did dumbass investments. You see, that whole Twitch streamer mining computer thing that they did. There's weird little campaigns that NVIDIA invested.
Well,
in.
you know what happened though, Ken? They under reflected the revenue from Bitcoin mining on their hardware sales. And I think they were doing that on purpose because they wanted to act like, that stuff, that really didn't have anything to do with our underlying, our revenue. And when the 2018 came and people, everything crashed and mining kind of slowed down.
A lot of businesses that accepted crypto haven't cashed out for multiple reasons, mainly tax reasons. But there was a VPN company that even announced that they haven't sold their Bitcoin.
Interesting.
And, what was the other one that recently? Proton Mail.
Oh, okay.
They haven't sold any of their Bitcoin that they've received.
Interesting.
So there's a couple companies out there that are long-term hodlers, and it's like I said, probably tax reasons or whatever, but. They're long term, so they ride the waves, and that's the double-edged sword of being an ICO in the crypto environment, right? They all failed because they didn't dump enough of their own coins in the market and for fiat to diversify for the market crash, right? So they held on to their own coin out of respect for their investors, I guess, but it ended up dooming them because the price went down. Their ability to pay the developers and maintain everything kind of went down as well. And some projects that did cash out, they got burned at the stakes because they dumped on the market to be a business. So they did business things to secure the business by selling their assets. And they were crucified for it. And a lot of them, either way they went, didn't really succeed much, but it didn't matter which way they went, right? It was a lose-lose.
Yeah, so Andy King went ahead and looked up that gold to Bitcoin
Thank you, Andy.
ratio, and it's 15.5 Bitcoin to gold.
Okay.
Well, at its peak, it was. I don't know where it is right now. He didn't put in there. Oh, today is 4 and 3/4. Yeah, 4.75 today. So it's come down pretty big, but
I feel like if somebody made one of those Coin Market Cap ripoffs and just paired everything with the gold index, it would probably get a lot of attraction for ads. All I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Definitely, that's true. So we got another topic that is pretty interesting, and actually is it kind of brings up a point, and we kind of talked on it earlier about AML, KYC, but we've got Bottle Pay shutting down, man, come January.
Yeah.
This is an issue because if we continue to see this type of stuff, man, I mean, at what point do you think companies are going to just kind of go underground with it and go, go almost like DAO, decentralized autonomous organization with it, where no government can really come at that one person or entity Is that the solution for that? Because BitPay, or Bottle Pay, I should say, was, if you guys don't know, was a social media kind of like tipping platform where you can tip people on various social medias with Bitcoin. What are your thoughts about that? They're shutting down because the EU's AML laws are going into effect in January.
Well, I mean, the same thing happens here in the U.S., right? Companies have to shut down, and they'll probably open up in the Cayman Islands somewhere or something next time they have to pop up, So they might not, go away forever. Maybe they'll move headquarters and, establish a corporation, in another country where they can keep doing what they're doing, because you can see as the U.S. does this, companies just leave and go to the Cayman Islands or something. Unfortunately, that's one of the solutions, and it's a momentary solution because there's always a central point of failure. But like you mentioned, the DAOs and things and DApps, I think this could just become a DApp on one of the blockchains eventually.
It definitely could.
The developers could put in a small developer fee, and that very small developer fee is the incentive to create it, and maybe it's open source to the point that other people can make skins for it and plug and play and do other stuff, and who can shut this down? It would have to, now you'd have to see, and this is where it does become an issue, Crypto Blood, because we have Twitter and Facebook and the social platforms that the Bottle Pay utilizes for the tipping, right? So if there is a DApp that did a very similar function, you could see the regulations now being enforced on Twitter to do their best to no longer be able to, send out or do whatever functionalities the API may be for that DApp to utilize the social platform for tipping, right? So when you do @KennethBozak +1 RP or XRP or whatever with that Ripple tip bot, which I had immediately thought about the Ripple tip bot when I read that article. So I hope my boy Weiss is all right, man. But didn't you think about that? There's so many. Right, but even at that point, the protocol that they pull from the social media platforms could just be deleted or whatever to that effects from the network, right? So it could be centralized on Twitter's end or on Facebook's end. So is there a real incentive now for a developer to create this DApp or DAO or whatever and put in a developer fee if they're probably just not going to be able to be utilized because the platforms will then just shut it down?
Yeah, and I don't know if this is not kind of on topic, but I don't know if you heard about Jack Dorsey and his comments about working on, called BlueNet, I think it's called. He got a team in Twitter now working on decentralized concepts, and he wants to have a protocol ready for that, and eventually have Twitter go that route. But I'm like, I highly doubt he's going to be able, as a public company, to go decentralized.
Right.
Decentralization is not sexy for Wall Street.
Yeah, I don't know how I even feel about him fucking talking about that. Like, he has no right. You know what I mean? That's like Zuckerberg talking about he uses private messaging apps because he doesn't like how his messaging is in private or something. Like, what? What are you talking about privacy? You have no, but seriously, like, he has no right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a.
No, I mean, look at the censorship that is enforced on Twitter, either politically or other.
But that may not be him. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're public, you don't own your company.
Yeah, but if he creates the protocol and the platform, it's not a DAO. It's not a DApp. He's behind it. He can still be,
held accountable. The
company look at Ross Ulrich and Silk Road, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna be able to still hold him accountable.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's the problem. That's why I said I don't think it will work. I don't think anything that a public company that's basically sold their soul.
You know how he would have had to do this?
You
know, he would have had to do this for it to succeed. He would have had to just do it. Don't say anything.
Right.
Make everybody on the team like that Satoshi level secrecy, and then one day on Twitter tweet out, I found this thing that looks like Twitter on the blockchain. Let me know what you guys think. And that's his last tweet ever.
Right.
That's all he had to do was say, look at this thing I found. And that's the only way it would work if he wanted to ever even mention it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that one. The way he's going about it, I don't think he'll be successful with it at all.
No. And he has way too many investors that are going to be able to tug on strings that either will never make it happen or put so many barriers that it will just be too costly to get there for him. And hopefully maybe he does this in that way where it's just done. He creates it and kind of like does a hat trick disappearance where, maybe Jack Dorsey died in a car crash, but he's really living on an island somewhere. And we see this really coincidental Twitter decentralized platform pop up.
He said he wants to move to Africa. Some country in Africa he's looking to move. And he's been out there pretty heavily too. I don't know what he's doing out there, but could be a possibility, with you saying that. The interesting thing I saw in this article, and then we'll get to the next caller, is that they said in their their message to everyone is that the amount and type of extra personal information we would be required to collect from our users would alter the current user experience so radically and so negatively that we are not willing to force this onto our community. I do commend them for that. Because like we talked about, they could have just done it like Changely, or not Changely, but what's the other one?
Shapeshift did it.
Shapeshift.
Yeah, they were at first they said New York can go fuck themselves, but then eventually Eric Voorhees kind of caved in because that's where the money is, man. New York.
Man, yeah. So I commend them for just saying, look, we'll just shut down. So I'm assuming if they're just gonna shut down with no problem, they have a backup plan, and they're probably gonna go like you talked about, a DAO or some type of DApp.
Or
just take a
LLC
little sliver
in
off
another country, right?
Or LLC in another country.
All you have to do now is use a VPN because they're not allowed to do business with you in whatever country you're in, but that can't stop you from using the platform with a really simple VPN plugin. You just click on, send a tip, receive the tip, whatever. I mean, the issue is I think it's a custodial service though, isn't it? That's where it gets sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt, man. So we got the caller here. Let's see who we got on the line here. It's boy Crypto Blood. We got Ken Bozak as a co-host tonight.
Somebody said Ken Lay's Island instead of
Ken Lay's Island. What's going on, caller?
That was the Mama Booey you chose? No.
I had to shoot him down for that one.
I'm happy it's so distorted. You probably won't get like tripped up on YouTube for that.
Oh my god, people are hilarious, bro.
So, thank you. That was funny.
That was hilarious. So yeah, man. So I mean, we'll see what happens with this. But again, I commend them for, at least taking it.
I do, and I also think it's stupid. Like, what kind of a dumb business decision? Like, you didn't have to force anybody to do it. You could have done what you're doing now. Waited till everybody cleared their funds off, right? And then just said, all right, well, now we have KYC. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have still done the service. It's a useful service. People utilized it.
Man, but like they said though, like the KYC part just throws it all off. Like,
have you used Dropit at all?
Mm-mm.
Dropit does it for Twitter, and I thought about them too when I saw this. Like, I could send you
Where
some,
are they out of?
And it's Litecoin too. I have no idea, honestly. I'm gonna have to reach out to them after the podcast, but I can send you Bitcoin or Lightning Bitcoin tips just by your Twitter handle. So I open my wallet, I go to the Twitter, I type in your Twitter handle, I send you the tip, you get a tweet that says, hey, claim this. If you don't claim it within a couple of days, I think it's whatever, like a week or something, I end up getting it back like right to my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, it's a pretty nifty way to do, like, and I think it's an honest way for Twitter giveaways too. When people say they're giving away Bitcoin, well, use this, that way people see that you're giving it to a Twitter handle. I mean, at least try. Most of these giveaways probably make secondary Twitter accounts and give it to themselves at the end.
Yeah, 3D said he likes Dropbit.
Yeah, Greg, what up, bro? That ain't Greg.
3D.
Doug,
yeah. Yeah, man. So I think the last one I want to talk about is kind of off topic as far as crypto related, and you had your thoughts about this, and I do too. Instagram testing, and it looks like they're going to go ahead with this whole like apocalypse, if you want to call it, What are your thoughts about them taking away likes?
Well, first off, let's get this thing. They're not heroes here, okay?
No,
they're not like this article's like, oh,
No.
they're doing it for mental health and they're doing it so people have confidence to post things that might not. No, fuck that. That's all. I'm sorry. It's just BS, right? Like they're not heroes here. What they're really doing, and very subtly mentioned in the article, I love how subtle it was, that they're potentially maybe going to see influencers not get as much revenue from product endorsement because they're not going to be able to monetize the post that they post on Instagram, and Instagram may potentially see products now go through the official Instagram ad services.
There you go.
So Instagram can pretty much cut out the middleman that is the influencer on their platform.
And
that's
the thing
really
is,
what it
though,
comes down to.
It does, man, and that's funny you say that, because that was my like tinfoil kind of conspiracy theory on this whole thing, and it goes with what's going on with YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Copa thing, and a lot of
they're
people
tired of these toy companies paying little kids to make a video.
Millions, bro.
Done with it. And they're not just making millions through AdSense. They're making millions.
No, they're making
ad deals.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if you cut all, I mean, it's so clear that that's what's going on here. It's, to me, at least.
Yeah, I talk about this a lot in crypto influencing too. I get asked a lot about it with like sponsored content and getting promoted and sponsored in the crypto sphere, and it's only because the traditional ad systems industry does not work with blockchain companies right now because of regulatory issues. You don't see Coinbase or Jack's Wallet or whatever ICO coin advertising on Facebook or YouTube ads or Twitter sponsored tweets anymore because of the whole BitConnect scandal. A lot of those ads were and YouTube was actually in a class action lawsuit for facilitating a lot of those referral links for Bitcoin, for BitConnect ads on videos. So that's why we don't see it, and that's why there is money for influencers in this industry right now, because the companies have a responsibility to investors to promote their brands, promote their product, and they can't go to legacy investing companies that have legacy advertising deals. So they go like the platforms like Instagram will say no to your blockchain ICO having an ad on Instagram, but you can go to a popular Instagrammer and say, hey, will you take a post an Instagram post about our shitcoin, and we'll pay you for it. So they're solving a problem and creating a problem at the same damn time.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see, we got another call on the line. We're Crypto Blood. We got Ken Bozak on tonight. What's going on?
Hi, this is Bathwell Dwayne with a message for CD Live, 8805 Alton Avenue. Fuck all niggers, nigger.
He had me for a minute.
Yeah,
bro.
he got me for a minute, bro.
Like, I wonder what he's gonna say.
Oh man, he had me. That one got me, bro. The funny thing is, I got all these call logs. I got everybody who's calling, so I'm gonna pull up on you.
It's my own fault, man. I'm sorry I brought this on us, but he just got out his own Twitch account, which I thought was funny. So,
all good, man. So yeah, I think that's what's happening here, man. I don't think this is no altruistic, doing this for the good.
This isn't like in the sense of like what Black Mirror is, right? If you ever seen that show, this isn't like a White Mirror, an event. They're trying to make a Black Mirror thing happen and look like it's not a bad thing, but what they're really trying to do is a bad thing. They're trying to disenfranchise entrepreneurs in an up-and-coming industry that is influencing and product brand endorsement and stuff like that. Like content creation is an independent entrepreneurial industry that's just starting to have a footing because of social media and social platforms like Instagram and shit like that, and being able to get likes. So what they're doing is they're basically destroying people's jobs, careers, and unemploying people overnight. That's exactly what happens when you see YouTube deplatform somebody that has millions of followers because all of a sudden their terms and services no longer agree with cannabis product reviews. So now all the cannabis product review YouTubers have been deplatformed. and then you see, you know, other things happening like this with Instagram. It's really trying to take the power out of the, you know, the people's hands, trying to, you know, keep the machine going with this industrial, you know, industry when we're in an entrepreneurial industry boom, and everyone's working for themselves using either micro influencing or macro influencing. You know, some people have like 1,000 followers on Facebook that, you know, follow them because they live in a small town, and maybe they monetize that because the local pizza shop gives them a good deal for shouting them out every time they order pizza or something. You know, there's micro influencing that occurs that, you know, is like the stepping stone for the macro influencing, and these platforms are just taking the American dream right out of people's heads, man. And it's really messed up.
Yeah, but you know, it was interesting to see when they were testing this over seas. They were seeing that, you know, they could still track the matrix on these posts on Instagram.
Well, I don't like likes. I think the likes thing should go. I'm all for that.
I'm cool with it too. But what I'm saying is, when they post their pictures on Instagram without the likes, they got like 1/10 of the engagement.
Well, there's studies done on this. Have you seen other studies like this where they got people sort of in a room, you know, for these group studies, and they did it one-on-one with people that, in the videos that I've seen, and they'll just say, let us know if you like this video or this photo. We'll give you $50 at the end of the study. And basically they'll show videos and photos and things like this on the screen, and they'll have low like counts or low comment counts on purpose, with video accounts that have low subscriber rates on purpose. And then they'll do the opposite. They'll have pictures, very similar pictures, right? Or even sometimes the fucking same exact one, and people don't realize it. And they're like, oh, I don't like this one because of the filter, this, that. And they don't even already talk shit on it. But because they saw it again with thousands of likes and comments, and that person had thousands of subscribers, they clicked like just before they even had their own opinion. Yep. They were given an opinion. They were subjectified to what their opinion should already be by conforming to the consensus of the crowd. So
I saw an article also. I don't know if it's in this TechCrunch one, but they're thinking about Instagram's thinking about giving the influencers like a analytics dashboard where they can see themselves how many likes they get, but that defeats the purpose. Like I said, it's not.
Well, you can still show your sponsors that this many people saw the photo, this many people did like the photo.
But so that can be doctored though. You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about possible.
Right, I can screenshot my stuff and edit the numbers and audit. But then there's platforms that have what's that one?
Like APIs.
Yeah, no, there's the clout platforms. There's ones for like where you can get your YouTube channel like publicly reviewed, right? So like anybody could type Crypto Blood in, and I think it's crap, I can't remember the name. It's really popular too. Somebody in the chat, say it, please. It's gonna be bothering me the whole time. But you can just go and see all the stats, like how many reviews, comments, and this and that, how much ad revenue you actually make on your AdSense. All of it's very public. So Instagram could make that.
Oh, you talking about Social Blade?
Social Blade. God, thank you.
Social Blade.
That was a tick. It was scratched. I couldn't reach the scratch and it itched. Yeah, man. So like there could be a Social Blade thing for products and companies to utilize to make sure that this system isn't being forged by you taking a screenshot and editing it. So and a lot of companies do that too. Like if you go to a product in the crypto space and tell them you're going to promote their brand, they probably want the Social Blade to see what the ROI would be on your video.
Yeah.
Yo, everyone's saying Social Blade. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. So, man, I appreciate you coming on. Any last thoughts? Anything you want to talk about before we wrap up tonight? What do you have? What do you have going on like in the next? The year is ending here, but what about New Year? What's your plans? I know you're going down to Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to Miami for the it's Washington Elite and the North American Bitcoin Conference. So I'll be in Miami for a week, hanging out at the Miami Bitcoin Center. So if you're in the area, stop by the Bitcoin Center in Miami. I'll be there. We can hang out, blaze up, whatever, talk about Bitcoin. Actually, I was right after this, I was going to play some Steam Monsters because the season's about to end and I'm trying to get more rewards cards. So if you want, we could talk a little bit about like blockchain gaming stuff because I really
let's do that. That's big, man. I think adoption for blockchain is probably firstly gonna come through gaming.
Yeah, either gaming or the adult industry. So we can talk about gaming.
I didn't think about adult.
Well, the adult industry is, I mean, its reputation has been for adopting and innovating and making mass adoption occur for multiple technologies. So I think even the NFL, that camera that goes from end zone to end zone, has the adult industry to thank for that. So
really,
there's a lot of things that even VR technology and 360 and streaming, all thanks to the adult industry mass adoption. So it could be that industry because they're most disrupted when it comes to banking and things like that.
Right.
But the gaming industry, though, when it comes to the future is the children of the future, bro. Mm-hmm. And they already use in-game currencies. Mm-hmm. They're already used to these digital transactions. And when they run into an item that isn't transferable, they're starting to get upset. They can see that there's no value in centralized assets. So, and the issue I think really comes out is blockchain games. And we mentioned earlier KYC and stuff, because games are going to be able to make children very rich. I played Pokemon as a kid. If I held on to a couple of those Charizards, I could have been still a child and still have made a decent penny trading cards on an exchange without any KYC and stuff. So,
what are your thoughts about Wax?
I love Wax, bro. Okay. Are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
I got my own NFT on Wax. So if you have a Wax.io account, Blood, send me your trading link, and I'll send you one of my collectibles on the Wax blockchain. I have multiple tokens I created on multiple blockchains for the experience of how to create it. And so I have a few different blockchains with collectibles and a few different blockchains with like random shit coins that I made with my name on it.
Yeah, man. It's definitely, I think, going to be the gateway to a lot of these. My thing is what you just talked about, KYC, and I think that's why we haven't seen the adoption happen from these bigger gaming studios, because it's kind of the merging of finance world meets gaming, and that framework hasn't been set up
and
yet.
They don't want to do it either. I was talking to a guest about this on my podcast the other day about why Blizzard doesn't want to create tokenized assets in World of Warcraft, because they would have to do so much with like taxation, know your customer and all this, and then they would probably lose users or not gain new ones because of that, right? And so it's not worth their interest. But that doesn't stop game companies that aren't established in the legacy industry from having a chance to do this. And I don't know how a lot of them get away with in gaming without KYC because of this. Like, it's worth money. Like all of it makes no sense to me, honestly. And I don't want it to have to make sense legally. Like, I don't care about the law, like whatever. But when it does come down to the law, you have a kid that, potentially a kid playing, a decentralized blockchain game, and then going and selling those assets, getting Bitcoin or whatever for those assets he got in the game, and then going to a Silk Road and buying something with it. Right now, when you look at all that, who's liable for it? We've even had local Bitcoins get in trouble for somebody using local Bitcoins to buy Bitcoin to buy weed. So like, there's levels to this that I don't understand the legalities to and how they get around it. But I am excited for the future of gaming and blockchain and everything. I just don't think the legacy industry has a chance to move on. And I think that we'll see that paradigm shift come from like the indie game market.
Yes, I agree with you. It's definitely going to come from the indies. And we'll have to see.
A lot of the games are like DAOs, like we don't know who the hell made them. They just exist. It's weird, but it's like an ICO, right? A lot of the NFTs that were sold were basically like ICOs. They sold assets for a game that didn't exist, and then they used the money to develop the game, and it's out there. And if anything happened to whatever, you could take the asset and build your own game to utilize it in.
Right, absolutely. So cool, man. Anything else on your plate?
No, somebody asked what's the biggest blockchain game, and that's actually the Splinterlands game. It's the #1 DApp right now. Period. End of story. #1 DApp.
What is it called?
It's it used to be called Steam Monsters, but it's Splinterlands. It's a trading card game like Magic the Gathering, and everything's on the blockchain. So every move you make, every everything that you see that you do on the actual platform is signed on a blockchain. So when you send a card to battle, or when you transfer a card or buy a pack of cards, all of it's on the blockchain. It's on. Are
they still on Steam?
Yeah, they're on Steam and Tron, and I think they're moving with something else too. They're integrating on, and sweet. They're blockchain agnostic. So that's why they changed their name from Steam Monsters to Splinterlands, because they're going to be multi-blockchain based game.
That's good. That's a good move.
Yep, and you can buy the cards with PayPal or crypto. So it's just, people don't even need to know there's crypto involved. Like, you could be a total novice, never ever even
that's
use
the key, bro.
Right.
When we get to that point where when people don't even know that they're using blockchain is when blockchain will be successful.
Like, I guarantee anybody watching this could go play that game right now and actually say, like, yeah, I didn't have to interact with crypto at all, other than if you wanted to buy the cards with crypto. You played the game and you're earning crypto. There's like this in-game asset, dark energy crystal, that you can trade on an exchange or use to buy in-game assets and stuff, but it doesn't throw it in your face. You don't have to worry about all the issues that surround, like, it's, you know, oh, it's crypto, it's a blockchain game, you're using cryptocurrency, here's your wallet, here's this, here's that, here's the exchange. It's just, here's the game. And if anybody ever wanted to go past the game and start getting money and trading it on, then that's when you get involved in the other stuff.
Sweet, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I had a great time. Definitely gonna have to come back on again. And you guys out there, make sure you hit that like button. Smash that like for sure. Help us out here. And then lastly, guys, jump over to cryptoblood.io. Man, these hats are going crazy right now for the holidays. Make crypto great again hat. Get yours at cryptoblood.io. They are on sale for $28 right now. So check it out. You can pay with crypto as well.
Did you see the video I have on YouTube of the girl who was wearing the Make Bitcoin Great Again hat, and she got like water thrown in her face because somebody thought it said Make America Great Again?
I've had some people double take and say that to me as well.
Yeah, this girl was attacked for wearing a Make Bitcoin. I wish a nigga would.
Boy, come on with it. I got something for you.
It depends on what state you're in. If you're in a right to stand your ground state, fine. I'm here in New Jersey, man. If somebody punches me and I punch them back, we're both going to jail. It's fucked up.
Are you serious?
My only legal defense, bro, is if somebody assaults me in the state of New Jersey, is to take it on the chin and run, bro, and then I can whatever. But if I swing back, we both go to jail. There is no self-defense like that.
I didn't know that.
I've been in enough fights to know when it's worth punching somebody back or just taking one on the chin. Because if I knock this motherfucker out, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, man. Michigan is a stand your ground. All that, man. We're almost like Texas, to be honest with you. I can go buy a gun without a license, but it has to be open carry. If I do that, it's weird. Like, I can have a gun without a license, but I have to have it open carry. Yeah, it's crazy.
That seems pretty opposite.
I know. Now, if I have a guns license, so if I have a guns like a CPL is what they're called here, I don't think I can open carry. No, I can still open carry, but it's just weird. Like, if I don't have a license and I buy a gun, I have to have it open carry and can't conceal it at all. It's crazy. It's really weird.
I feel like being able to flex the fact that you have a gun on you should require that.
A license.
Like the license, right? Like, you should have to conceal it otherwise. So
I don't know, man. I would never. I don't like the open carry thing.
I'm all for guns. Have your guns or whatever. I don't want one because I don't even have a car. I don't trust myself behind the damn wheel. So I definitely don't trust myself with the gun. But I hope my neighbor got one in case somebody comes around here and I yell out a window.
Yeah, man. So I'm into the guns, man. I think that's something that everyone should have a right to have.
Well, the gun industry is huge on blockchain and crypto too, man. If you haven't noticed, it's kind of low key, but that whole industry is moving into the crypto sphere and the blockchain sphere in a subtle way because they're getting issues with their banks as well, and having issues with customers and huge cash supplies and things like that. So they're looking at cryptocurrency as an alternative, man.
Yeah, it's getting weird, bro. Like the governments are really starting to close in on our liberties.
I think Max Kaiser said this, right? Like the worst thing for Bitcoin is if the U.S. government legalized everything. You know what I mean? Like the more that the government puts like these roadblocks and barriers on legacy industries, the more they're going to go to the alternatives, the lifeboats that are cryptos and Bitcoin and blockchain. So I welcome the government's regulations and suffocation on all these industries, because they're all going to turn to something else better that doesn't have to conform to that rule. So they're only pushing a lot of these companies and industries into a corner, and that's forcing them to evolve. Like, you know, it's forcing them to jump back and or die. They're putting them in that fight or flight scenario, and they're not going to go out without a fight. They're gonna experiment. So, you know, if you see, you know, the government regulating and, you know, hurting and disenfranchising an industry like the gun industry, just show them the lifeboat, and, you know, they'll walk right on welcome arm, because now you don't have to convince them. They have a hardship. You show them a solution to the hardship at hand.
Very true. Very true. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll definitely see what happens. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Episode 18 in the books. Off the chain. Thanks for everyone joining me in the chat rooms. Peace to everyone. Love and happiness. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. And we're going to leave you with this one. This is a classic right here.
We'll do it live. Fucking thing.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
We're out of here, people. Holla.
Hot boy, do it big time. LMA with my summer bay, we booed up. Cali hit the bay, we fly MIA, we pulled up. Sipping on this drink, bitch, I know the way.